So the next part is estimate the recrystallization temperature. And you could see on the DSC that there is an exothermic event that occurs right here in the data. And if you integrated the area under this curve during this time period, during this differential in heat flow, this would indicate essentially the amount of heat that is involved in that this exothermic event. So you're probably used to the idea of recrystallization in metals, and in polymers this is actually a little bit different phenomena. Let's see if I can pull up a pad here. In polymers, the recrystallization is a process where you go from a polymer that, let's say, these long chains have regions that are kind of stacked, folded against itself along the chain, and then there are other regions where it's not. This would be sort of a semi-crystalline polymer. And if you go to a crystalline state, the polymer has a structure that is more, we would say, ordered for a polymer. So there would be regions of the polymer where the polymer chain is folded along itself. And this represents crystallinity for a polymer. So it turns out that in going from this state here to this state here, you actually give off energy. So this is a lower energy state. And that is reflected inside the DSC, where you see that not as much thermal energy is required in order to keep the sample and the reference at the same temperature. So this exothermic event right here corresponds to going from a state like this, that is semi-crystalline, to a state that is, for a polymer, more crystalline. And in my view, you kind of need to think about what are you getting. If you imagine that the heat, or that the thermal energy is kind of a currency, and the currency is buying you something. So in the first case, on this DSC output, you see that the more thermal energy investment is required in order to maintain the sample and the reference at the same temperature. So the interpretation there is that you actually have a higher heat capacity. And then at the second event, what you see is that that you're actually sort of getting cash back or heat back, because this is a lower energy state compared to the disordered state here. So the crystallization temperature, or the crystallization temperature, is considered roughly right where this peak is. So we're going to call that 125 degrees Celsius.